Okay, in this lecture we're going to learn how to create a line chart. So far we've learned how to create a column chart, a bar chart, and a pie chart, and we've learned some tricks and strategies for formatting and making our charts look nice and sharp and clean. And now we're going to create a line chart. So I'm going to go ahead and create a line chart out of our existing spreadsheet, and then we're going to create one from scratch from a different spreadsheet that includes dates. And the reason for that is because line charts are really best suited to demonstrate or represent data that is spread over time because it shows the progression or the change in that data over time. So let's go ahead and I'll convert this into a line chart and show you what that looks like, and then we'll go ahead and dive into this other spreadsheet and I'll show you how to make a line chart from scratch. So we right click on this and we go to change chart type. And of course that brings us to our chart pop-up, and we'll go to line chart. And there are a number of choices here, but the only one that really is going to apply is going to be a basic line chart because we only really have one set of data. So we're going to go with that. I'm going to click OK, and it's changed it to a line chart. So you can see that basically this is showing the progression of costs from the lowest to the highest. And we'll go ahead and change our colors to give it a little more juice. And then we're going to also change the elements here. We're going to put a vertical axis in here, and we're going to take off our data labels just so we have a cleaner line here. And then we're going to go into the spreadsheet and we're going to take out all of those little descriptors in parentheses. So it just makes a nice clean chart at the bottom there. So that creates a pretty clean, simple, sharp chart. One more thing we're going to do though is we're going to go in here and we're going to format this axis. See how this line starts way in here and this one stops way in from the edge? We're going to expand that out a little bit just to make it fill up the space a little better. And that's in the Format Axis tab. I brought that up by clicking on this bottom axis, the horizontal axis. And if we click on the axis options, which is these little bars, then we go to this axis position, on tick marks versus between tick marks, and we'll click on tick marks. And that gives us a pretty clean chart. And that's how you create a simple, clean line chart in Excel. Okay, now let's take a quick look at an example of a chart that has dates and monthly sales, and we'll create a line chart based on that. So here's just a really simple chart. It basically has monthly sales, and in the first column it has the month with January through December, so every month of the year. And then in the right column it has the sales data for that month. So this could be for any business or individual sales rep, but you'll see how nice this is when we chart it on a line graph because the dates and the sales are represented by one line. So of course the first thing we do is we highlight our range that we want to use for our chart, and we can go to the recommended charts, and you'll notice the first thing it brings up is a line graph because it's just logical. Just as a side note, another cool version of this is a stacked area chart because it gives you a kind of strong graphic visualization by filling in the line graph. We're going to select our line chart, click OK, and there's our chart. So you can just see how clearly this represents each month and the progress in sales. So this big peak month here in March, you can really see a strong peak there. And then you can actually also see sort of the trend here from August, September, October, November, and how that ramps up. So this is a pretty clean, simple chart, and there's not a ton that needs to be done with it. But we could get rid of these grid lines to make it a little cleaner if we wanted to. Although, in honesty, this is one situation where I kind of like the grids. We could also do a little formatting to this. We could change the color of our line to make it stand out more. And then I would like to go in here to the horizontal axis, go to axis options, and where it says axis position, instead of having it between tick marks, I'm going to say on tick marks. And you'll notice that when I click that, it basically just expands it out to fill the space a little bit more. And that's just a matter of personal preference there. But that's what that looks like. So that's how you create a line chart using a regular date or time interval and a value.